Pac-12's TV deal in how that might impact everything. And that's really what's going on here. Everybody's kind of watching what happens to the Pac-12, and that will determine how many dominoes kind of drop when it comes to realignment this summer across the country. So the Pac-12 gets a good enough deal and they all stay together and remain intact, you wouldn't think there'd be very many dominoes, right? If the Pac-12's deal isn't strong enough and they lose a couple teams, it could really create, right, a big conference realignment wave in the Power 5 level. It really could have a really, really busy summer. If the Pac-12 doesn't get a good enough TV deal, the summer could be a little slower if the Pac-12 gets a good enough TV deal. That's kind of the summary of that story. Everybody's watching that war in the West, the realignment war in the West between the Pac-12 and the Big 12.
Yeah, so we're continuing our candlelight vigil for the Pac-12 media deal. When that happens, we'll see what else is going to happen or not happen, more or less. The things that jumped out to me, a couple things from the story, which was super interesting. One, that Kevin Warren did want to go get Washington and Oregon during the winter. And I believe the quote in there was that he went to the media partners and said, "Show me the money," and there wasn't any money. So, there'd been speculation since day one, since the day that USC and UCLA jumped, were Oregon and Washington going to follow? Did they want to follow? Was there a path for them to follow? And now, for now, there's not, apparently. At least there's just not enough interest/revenue from the Big Ten side of it. But to Ross's point, yes, how much does that change if suddenly they're on the market and you can get them maybe at a discounted rate or whatever if they're desperate to join a new league? And then do you really want them or not? I would think USC and UCLA would want them for just ease of having people to schedule and play against out there. But that's TBD. Maybe they don't want any competition on the West Coast.
But, I mean, the idea that this is about a few $1 million here or there, I don't know that you don't make all that money up, particularly these Pac-12 schools that don't sell out and have these huge, there's only Utah and Oregon, kind of Washington, that are really like maxing out what, like the fan interest and stuff like that. There's a lot of money to be made in other spots than just media rights. This all-encompassing jump for the guaranteed TV money, it won't make your team more exciting.
No,
it's not good for your if you're just a fan of the team, it's just not better.
Well, and I think the thinking is it would make you more competitive, but not really. If you're going to a stronger conference in a way, it makes it less competitive that you reach the playoffs sometimes.